Hey everyone, let's look at all the items found on the required tool list for welding courses here at York Technical College. These items will allow you to take any of our courses here at York Tech, from beginners courses to advanced courses. I'm going to go through each of these items one by one, and I've also added a few extra items that I find useful for whenever I'm welding. So first I'm going to start off with the helmet. I recommend getting an auto darkening helmet. It has all the controls on the inside to where you can adjust your shade, sensitivity, and it darkens within 1/20,000th of a second. As opposed to getting a pipeliner hood, these are a little bit more difficult if you're just beginning. These you actually have to flip your hood down before striking an arc, so that one's a little bit more difficult, so I recommend going with the auto darkening helmet. Next on the list is a welding cap. Okay, this is going to protect your head and hair from any sparks whenever you're doing out of position welding, so I do recommend getting a welding cap. Next on the list, I'm going to go over the 3 types of gloves. So we have TIG Welding Gloves. These are the thinner gloves recommended for TIG welding. You can use them for stick welding or Mig welding if you would like to, but these are primarily used for TIG welding. Next are Mig Welding Gloves. They're a little bit thicker, so it'll protect your hands a little bit more for whenever you're MIG welding. You can use these for MIG welding or gas cutting and welding if you prefer that. Third type of gloves are stick welding gloves. Okay, these are the heavy duty gloves that are going to protect your hands away from sparks and heat. So definitely, whatever class you're doing, get the proper gloves so it'll protect your hands from the heat and from sparks. Okay, next on the list, safety glasses. Safety glasses have to be worn out in the shop. Okay, so I recommend getting safety glasses. We do have extra pairs in case you do forget them whenever you come to the shop, but we want y'all to have safety glasses, okay, to protect your eyes from any sparks that, possibly will fall down through your hood, protect you from whenever you're grinding, so make sure that you have safety glasses. Next on the list, if you're in a gas cutting and welding class, and even whenever you're beveling plate or pipe, you need the shade 5 lens, and then these are also used for gas welding and cutting. Okay, some of the auto darkening helmets have shades to where you can adjust it to a shade 5, but if your helmet doesn't do that, you're going to have to pick up some of these shade 5 lens to where you can use these and they protect your eyes from the light. Next on the list are a chip and hammer. Okay, this is going to be used for whenever you're stick welding. Wire brushes. So there's 2 types of wire brush. One for whenever you're cleaning off like slag from stick welding or just clean your metal for mild steel. The next one is a stainless steel brush. This is going to help you for whenever you're welding on stainless and to clean off any oxidization whenever you're welding on aluminum. Okay, so those are the brushes. Next on the list, so we recommend that you either get sleeves or some type of welding jacket. There's a couple different styles. I'm just going to show you 2 of them. So these are sleeves. They're the thinner sleeves that you can use, or we have leather sleeves. Okay, different types of jackets. So this one's a thinner style jacket that you can use, and then this one also is a thicker style jacket that you can use whenever you're stick welding, MIG welding, or if you want to use it for whenever you're TIG welding or gas cutting and welding. Okay, so make sure that you pick up sleeves or a welding jacket. Next on the list, I highly recommend getting a grinder. We do have a couple grinders out in the shop, but with the amount of students that we have, I recommend picking up a grinder so you don't have to wait on a grinder. With that being said, also pick up an extension cord. Okay, next on the list are Welpers. These are used for the MIG welding class. Okay, so this is where you can clean out the tip, you can actually untwist the tip right here, and you can cut your wire with this. Okay, you can also use these if you're picking up hot metal to dunk it in water, but these are highly recommended for whenever you're taking the MIG welding class. Okay, all the attachments for your grinder we do have in the shop, so you don't have to necessarily buy any of the attachments. We do have cutoff discs, flapper wheels, the hard rock disc. We do have some wire wheel attachments, but I highly recommend getting the wire wheel attachment for your grinder. Something else, I recommend getting a TIG finger for whenever you're in a TIG welding class. This helps protect your fingers from whenever you're welding from the heat, especially if you're welding on pipe. So highly recommend getting TIG fingers. The last thing that I would recommend would be getting some type of bag to carry all your supplies in, because you're going to have to take this to and from, you know, your vehicle and bring it into the shop. So I highly recommend getting a bag so you can tote everything around. Other than that, that is the required tool list that I recommend getting. It's roughly going to be $250 depending on what company you go through. So we are partnered with Roberts Oxygen and Airgas. They have a student bundle, so you would just have to tell them you're a York's Tech student, and they would give you a student discount. Other places that you can get welding supplies at would be Tractor Supply, Northern Tools, Home Depot, or Lowe's. Walmart has some items, or you can order anything offline. If you have any other questions about any items that you might need, please get in contact with me. All my information is listed on D2L, and I look forward to getting started with y'all in welding classes. Thanks, guys.